let's talk about the GOAT. Let's look at the GOAT. Let's 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 learn about the GOAT. What happened to the GOAT? What happened to my
Definitely
GOAT?
saved my life. Was like, yo, play that one beat for Ho. Then it came on, dun, dun, dun. And he was listening to it like, oh, it's crazy right here. Then they got to the chorus, and the chorus is like, ain't no.
I've actually seen enough. That's the end of the video. Kanye's a genius, and enough said.
Bro, I better not be getting fucking copyrighted for that. Can I do an intro without getting robbed, harassed for my money? And Kanye West has always been a really interesting individual. Emphasis on the individual. There's not a nigga on earth.
You don't know the answer, Sway.
Right here. From his music to his mindset to his views, dude is a different breed. I'm definitely a fan of Kanye, which is a part of the reason why I'm making a video. I know he be saying some crazy ass shit, be doing some out of pocket stuff. I probably wouldn't like him if his discography didn't look like this. From college dropout to Vulture Suit, we have seen a lot of evolution of Kanye. Sometimes good, a lot of times not so good. All this leading to the person we see him as today. Because, you know,
he's still the GOAT, though. He's still the GOAT, though.
Oh, that's how the evolution works. But Kanye's story is pretty intriguing. It feels like we get two sides of this nigga. These sides, I give the names Kanye and Ye. Both complex, very different personalities, but, you know, a part of the same person. It's like, imagine a devil and an angel on your shoulders, but instead their faces are Kanye West. The image that he's created for himself seems so layered. So many whys, hows, and just overall confusion. And so, fuck it, bro. I want to take a look at it. And, you know, I was kind enough to allow you guys to come on this journey with me.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro.
I gotta testify. Come up in the spot looking extra fly.
Kanye's story starts out in Atlanta, where he was there for probably like the first 4 days of his life. Then him and his mom moved up to Chicago. So no Atlanteans, you don't get Kanye. Everyone knows you're from where you grew up, bro. Meaning Kanye is a Windy City native, buddy. So yeah, Kanye was only raised by his mom, Donda West. And as most of y'all probably know, she's a huge, if not the
shout out Donda.
He became who he became.
Shout out
Christmas
Donda.
rolled around, bro, did not ask for no toys. Said, give me straight studio equipment, and got straight to work, bro. Kanye started producing beats as a teenager, selling them to local Chicago artists. And the shit was hot, bro. He was definitely popping a little bit in the area. He got his first major production credits at like 19 on an album called Down to Earth with this nigga named Grab. I decided to tune in a little bit, you know, see what it was sounding like.
Leave holes in chest cavities like vaginas black. Finger popping souls with facts. Mishaps or missteps repose.
And yeah, Kanye had to go to school for a little bit, bro.
Okay,
That shit was not getting him out of nowhere. But yeah, to nobody's
shout out, brother.
shock, nobody's surprise, he dropped out of college. Decided to fully focus on music, bro. Go for his heart. And you know what his mom said, bro? Son, you need to stay in school. You suck. I'm trolling. She was like, go for it, bro. She supported his choice and believed in it.
Mom.
For those who haven't seen the Genius documentary, bro, you gotta tune in. You could literally see the confidence she instilled in him. But he knew if he wanted to go anywhere with this shit, bro, he couldn't be working with niggas like Grav no more. He ended up moving to New York to promote his beats to anyone who would listen. And sure enough, he eventually got recognized by Rockefeller. He was a standout producer. Soul samples became like his signature, and a lot of artists at Rockefeller were using his beats, appreciating it. Eventually, he worked his way up to having a song with Jay-Z called This Can't Be Life, and nigga, the beat is beautiful. From then on, he was pretty much locked in. Jay-Z was fucking with the beats heavy, and them collabing was just elevating them both. Kanye became a go-to producer in Rockefeller. Of course, this ended up with him contributing significantly to Jay-Z's.
Man, Jay-Z got some. Man, hold on, bro.
Actually, he worked his way up to having a song with Jay-Z called This Can't Be Life, and nigga, the beat is in Rockefeller. Of course.
Like, God damn. What is a big ass
This
facial
ended up with
features,
him
bro.
contributing significantly to Jay-Z's The Blueprint, which, you know, I know everybody be meat much in this album, bro. I gotta tune in. Maybe if I see enough Jay-Z discovering discography comments, bro, I get it done. But yeah, nah, Kanye was on his way to becoming one of the greatest producers ever, which was, you know, cool or whatever to him, but what bro really wanted to do was rap on those beats, but they was not fucking with it. No.
Nah,
Every time
gang.
he tried to tell niggas that, they was like,
Man, I promise. She's so self-conscious. She has no idea.
What she doing,
that's enough.
Kyle?
Turn it the fuck off. Yeah, buddy, we're never gonna let you touch a mic. But you couldn't tell, bro, nothing. He knew that shit was gas, and he knew exactly what he could be, which is a huge theme in today's video. What Kanye says he is going to become. But for right now, that was just being a great producer. Jay-Z literally stumbled on a gold mine meeting this. Every single beat gas, literally giving the whole world generational bangers. It took years before they would let this nigga rap. They wasn't fucking with the swag, they wasn't fucking with the sound. Every chance he got, he would try try to prove his worth as a rapper. But he realized the longer he keeps waiting on them is the longer he gonna have to keep waiting. So he said fuck it and started funding and recording College Dropout pretty much all on his own. He made a demo to show to Rockefeller, which had Jesus Walks, All Falls Down, and Through the Wire. And Rockefeller still wasn't fucking with it. Honestly, now that I'm reading into it, the only reason they gave this nigga a chance, bro, is because he was passing so many CDs out to people that it was creating buzz outside of their room. So they didn't even want to give bro a chance. They reluctantly gave him a chance. But once they did, Kanye fucked the game up with this one. College Dropout was nothing like any other album at the time. While you had niggas like Jay-Z, Eminem, Nas, 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying, talking about a whole lot of crazy shit. You got this dude talking about the complete opposite. And it's hot. Dude,
yeah, Kanye was putting soul in the niggas.
Album of the year, first drop. Gets nominated for album of the year. Life started changing in damn near an instant. The way the audience gravitated to bro was just different. He was relatable in a way that a lot of other rappers couldn't be. In College Dropout, you got a really good taste of Kanye's personality. He was confident, ambitious, but above all, different. It wasn't hard for fans to resonate with Kanye. Me personally.
Bro, did he just give himself an ad-lib?
The way the audience gravitated to bro was just different. He was relatable in a way that a lot of other rappers couldn't be. In College Dropout, you got a really good taste of Kanye's personality. He was confident, ambitious, but above all, different. It wasn't hard for fans to resonate with Kanye. Me personally, I was like 1 year old when this shit was happening. I honestly wouldn't even know that much without Wicked.
Bro, was I even born? Didn't College Dropout come out like, I think it came out 04, right? Kanye albums. Yeah, 04. What's the date on it? This shit came out before I was born. Jeez.
Wikipedia and ChatGPT. So I had, you know what I'm saying, check it out for myself about 2 decades later. And it took a while for College Dropout to grow. But as time has progressed, yeah, this shit not his shit not. But for me, the album after that, bro, Late Registration, that's top 3 Kanye right there, bro. I am not gonna lie to you. Every now and then I gotta click, shuffle, hide all the skits, sit back and take a listen to this masterpiece. It doubled the first week sales of College Dropout. He won Rap Album of the Year again in a row. And then this time took Album of the Year home. The nigga was officially on a heater. So many classics in the first 2 years. Everything Kanye's been envisioning for himself, the person he knew he was starting to really show. This shit solidified him into the mainstream. Gold Digger was #1 for over 2 months in a row. He had a perfect balance between art, depth, and entertainment. Dude's success was undeniable. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, well, I mean, you'd be a fool to think something like that. Dude starts going head to head with the other biggest rapper at the time, 50 Cent. Saying they're going at it like, who's gonna drop the better album? And for 200 trade points, who do you think won that battle? Damn right. In my opinion, the greatest rap album of all time. Top to bottom, every single shit on there is a banger. I honestly feel bad for 50, bro. He didn't know what he was getting himself into. Because this is when shit starts getting scary. Each song you are hearing everywhere. He almost sold 1 million copies first week, destroyed 50 Cent, and took over rap. Not only musically, even outside the shit. He's like a cultural icon at this point. From his albums to the covers to his swag, he was moving in his own lane and everybody fucked with him for it.
Drive slow,
homie. Bro, motherfuckers was not wearing polo. He's influencing all other types of rappers. Guys like Travis, Tyler, ASAP. They're growing up in a generation where...
Where's the Cudi appreciation, bro? This is second video, man. We gonna say Rocky, not Cudi, bro?
He's old. He's collabing with generational artists. Bro is at Paris Fashion Week. It's like, damn, this nigga cannot lose. First 3 albums all debuted at 1 or 2. 9 Grammys or something near that. I can't even say everything he touches gold, bro. At this point, it's platinum. Nigga life looking fucking fantastic.
Rapper Kanye West and other celebrities will be here in Oklahoma City later today to remember his mother.
Donda West died earlier this month after complications from cosmetic surgery.
You know, I can't really speak for Kanye West, but I don't think it would be too crazy to say that Donda passing is the most pivotal moment in this dude's life. Like, obviously, that was his mom. He was close to his mom. But more important than all, it felt like she was the one who kept him grounded. His genuine #1 supporter, mentor, the person who gave him the foundation to believe in himself at such a high level. You would see it in the documentary. Anytime bro got to being a little too arrogant, a little frustrated, she would know how to get that nigga back to the ground immediately. It feels like she was the only person on earth who could control bro. He would even say in interviews that his mom told him he could do anything he wanted. And because the support was so level-headed and real, it carried him to the top. But now that she's not here, that foundation, that entity to keep him grounded, fucking gone. It seems like Donda was one of, if not the person who could control Kanye, but more importantly his ego. You started seeing a persona being like created damn near. That's not to say his genius wasn't real or wasn't true. It was just unchecked, so it started to grow. This chapter in Kanye's life, this is no puppy nigga, this was a big dog. When ego starts inflating with nothing to stop it, let's just say that's a crazy mix. Imagine through all the doubt and uncertainty you faced in your life, you still stay true to what you believe you are and end up surpassing any limit anyone has ever had for you. And then the one person who believed you had no limit passes away in an accident. At that point, it'd be very possible for you to not give a fuck about what nobody say or think. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit to make a nigga go rogue. He ended up breaking up with his then girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? A lot of loss, a lot of heartbreak, a lot of 808s.
808s.
Another iconic album for Kanye West, his fourth in a row. People call it one of the most influential albums of all time. Once again, pushing the boundaries of what an artist, especially a rap artist, can do. The successful use of 808s and autotune took the world by storm. He has two of some of his best songs on there to me. Amazing and Heartless. Oh my goodness. Everything else, you know, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got...
Bro, that whole album masterpiece, nigga, top to bottom, nigga, no skips. No skips.
I thought this shit was so trash when I first heard it. And I ain't even really off that boat for real. I upgraded it to like a mid. Definitely not his best work to me, but you know, I'm not the world and the world loved the shit. It definitely had mixed reviews when it first dropped, but despite all that, still went #1. Sold over 450,000 copies first week. And with time, like I said, it ended up becoming one of the most influential rap albums ever. Travis, Uzi, Juice, Drake. I've seen all of them give credit to 808. For their sound. And this project to me is really telling in Kanye's career. Musically, it's looking like bro can do no wrong. Even when he's experimenting, he's changing lives. This shit just strengthened his cult, reinforcing his genius and laying down an even stronger foundation into who he ends up becoming.
I am a god. Everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was. A god.
Kanye's always been somebody who's gonna say something that's on his mind.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Like the world needs to hear what's going on in his mind. So you know, at the 2009 MTV Awards, when Taylor Swift won Best Female Video for this.
You're on the phone with your girlfriend, she's upset.
Yeah, she won over Beyonce's Single Lady. And yeah, Kanye wasn't going
that
for
was
none
some,
of that shit.
That was some bullshit though.
Her said Beyonce better than that whack ass shrug that got off the stage. Hey look, I've seen motherfuckers slap niggas when they hear something they don't like at one of these award shows. You know what I'm saying? This fucked up. Definitely not him or Beyonce moment. But he wasn't lying and it could have been worse. But this ended up being a huge deal. Bro started getting backlash from everybody. Fans wasn't fucking with it. Artists wasn't fucking with it. Media outlets definitely wasn't.
Was that Lady Gaga?
I'm pretty sure even Obama called dude a jackass. Kanye had been known to say whatever he really wanted. His entire perception was being wild, unapologetic, confident. But messing with Taylor Swift was the cherry on top, bro. That's what finally did it. She was only 19 and a rising star. And yeah, it just became a horrible look for Kanye. So bad of a look, dude f around and disappeared. Yeah, man, after them awards, Kanye was gone from the public eye. He was canceling appearances, interviews, performances. Dude started going to Japan and like Hawaii and shit. Kanye had effectively gone AWOL. He wanted to be able to reflect and put work into his work without any sort of external distraction. A lot of people saw this as Kanye indirectly admitting to guilt for the whole Taylor thing. I mean, I could kind of see that angle, I guess. I think one of Kanye's biggest problems that you can start to see right here, and it'll definitely show later, is that bro just literally doesn't know how to effectively communicate. He didn't actually say Taylor Swift shit was whack, bro. I was just being funny. He said Beyonce had the greatest video of all time, which would be cool if, you know, he said that on Breakfast Club, but bro went on stage over two names that aren't his. So yeah, Kanye is kicking it in Hawaii, and this self-imposed exile channeled Kanye's frustrations and art, leading him to create an entire album while he was there, bro. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
Put your hands to the constellations. The way you look should be a sin. You my sensation.
Kanye's fifth album, and in the eyes of a lot of people, bro, he's a strong 5 for 5. Like I said before, bro, he made this during his isolation in Hawaii. Told all the people he wanted to collab with to come fly and see him. And yeah, made this masterpiece of an album where he addressed a lot of conversations flying around with his name in the most fucking Kanye way possible. Like, for instance, on the song Runaway.
Toast for the douchebags. Let's have a toast for the assholes. Let's have a toast for the scumbags. Everyone that I know.
This shit, but at the same time saying he don't really give a fuck. And then again, delivering it in one of the greatest albums of all time. Another success for Kanye West. All that hate he was getting before seemed to quiet down. Another #1, another highly acclaimed album, some more Grammys. This album revived Kanye, and not in like a he fell off way. He's Kanye West. More so,
wake up, get my dicks. Hey, shout out Namir.
He bounced back from everybody being on his dick by taking a break, distancing himself away from all the bullshit, by addressing his critics head on through into an undeniable masterpiece. He went from the center of controversy to the center of artistic brilliance. The music was too good, too raw. Pause. It silenced a lot of the people who were talking shit. It was no longer about what he did wrong. It was about what came from the narrative. Shifted from Kanye's out of control to he's a misunderstood genius once looking at it from his eyes. And two things can be true at once. The album reminded everyone of who Kanye West was. A nigga who undoubtedly, for certainly, does this music shit. But it also showed us / foreshadowed to us when bro can't express himself clearly, those ideas and views he got get absolutely lost anytime he tries to tell it. And this becomes his like thing in later years. Because right now, we're at My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
It's like, what, 2012?
33 years into Kanye. I would say at this point, he was mainly for the music. But after this, buckle your fucking seatbelt, buddy. After My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, in the years after that, in the evolution of Kanye West, bro's ambition started going way past music. He was still dropping projects that people were fucking with, but it felt like Kanye was trying to lean into a new role. And new is kind of crazy to say. It's not new. More like amplified. The person who's not scared to say what's on his mind. The person who challenges norms.
Hey, bro, through all the controversy, everything that nigga done, he kept delivering though. Like, damn, nigga got no misses.
That was always in Kanye, but it was more like a part of him. Now it's kind of becoming his personality. His platform was no longer a stage for just music. That shit became like a megaphone for all types of stuff he wants to get off his chest. And yeah, he definitely started using it that way. That's how he became Ye. In Kanye's mind, and honestly, in reality, he's way more than a rapper. Bro's like a cultural phenomenon. And once he saw himself as such, bro, he put them shoes the fuck on. It got to a point where bro was using every aspect of his persona, from music, fashion, interviews, social media. He's using every single one of his tools to challenge society. He's going on interviews, advocating for artists being put in boxes. He's making you bop your head while talking about systematic issues. He's making Yeezy a household name, but also focusing on the accessibility of it. And this right here is why I'm such a huge fan of Kanye. There's literally no limits, no boundaries. He's calling out whoever and whatever that is in his and everybody else's way. Music industry for exploiting artists. Fashion world for excluding certain people. Not a single topic too big or too controversial to speak on. But again, that's not really the fucking problem. It's cool that he uses his platform to put a spotlight on issues that motherfuckers don't want to talk about. That's cool. Again, that's cool. He just does not know how. It feels like Kanye can only effectively communicate through music, metaphors, subliminals, and emotion. And effectively is a crazy word to use.
Premeditated murder.
Abstracts that have a deeper meaning. But the lack of context most times leaves way too much room for misinterpretation. When he's just saying shit, bro, when he's just going on these online rants, it all undermines the actual point he's trying to make. He's giving the people he's going against a reason to clown him. The media and news outlets are forever going to paint this picture of Kanye being a crazy ass nigga.
Yep. Fuck Pete Davidson.
As long as he wants to keep playing that role. His literal inability to productively speak, combine that with his love for attention and just not giving a fuck about clarity, you get shit like slavery was a choice.
You hear about slavery for 400 years.
Hey, bro, we didn't hear him right, though.
That sounds like a choice. We're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of black.
The argument is supposed to focus on herd mentality and mental enslavement, manipulation by the higher ups. But instead of trying to give himself any room to be taken serious, bro, he goes on TMZ with it and says slavery is a choice. You see the way I gotta like fucking translate this shit? He leaves it up for way too much interpretation, bro. You could easily be like, that's not what the hell he's saying. None of these moments are isolated events. This is a recurring issue, recurring theme in Kanye. And Ye is like a full living, breathing testimony of it. A man with sometimes good intentions and like all the time poor execution. And this idea that he carries with himself that he's a misunderstood genius, you know what I'm saying, the stuff that his fans and everybody else feeds into, it's like, yeah, he is misunderstood, but how the hell are we supposed to understand? Not everybody's trying to psychoanalyze this nigga to get to
and he made graduation though.
People don't really care to do something like that. Honestly, majority of people probably can't, and I don't even necessarily think there's a problem with that. I think if you really want to get your point across, you got to do it in an effective way. And so Kanye either can't or doesn't want to. Regardless, in either situations, I believe it's for the same reason. A mix of ego and attention seeking. You can't tell Ye nothing. That shit sound cool, like, yeah, he's Kanye West, but it's actually lame, bro. I can't lie, it's lame. And more than anything, when you really think about it, it's ironic. His methods completely contradict his goal. By being dramatic, by always having to talk with some fucking chaos, dude is literally reinforcing one of the things he claims to hate most, which is being put in a box or being labeled. Instead of being seen for what he wants to be seen as, you know, a cultural leader, a disruptor, if you may. He's looked at like a crazy ass nigga who points will always always be dismissed. He's compromising being heard for like shock value. He's actively choosing attention over clarity. He'll say something that'll for sure put a spotlight on it, but instead of whatever thought-provoking conversation he thought was gonna come from it, he becomes a meme. For those who've seen Attack on Titan, bro, I got a perfect comparison. If you haven't or you're in the middle of it, skip this part, bro. I'm gonna spoil the hell out. Anyway, remember when Eren had the founding father power and destroyed like an entire race? He had said something that I thought was very interesting. He was basically saying how he's the most powerful person in the universe and it was off a chance. It's not like Eren was the guy for the job, but he got the job. And I relate that to Kanye because the only nigga big enough, influential enough, bold enough has shown that he doesn't fully effectively know how to use these powers. And we have gotten to like the very worst of it. Ye has now hit a new peak in controversy, attention, and like everything negative, anything bad that could have happened. Dude has been burning bridges left and right for the fuck of it. Over the years, you can see Kanye went from one of the most celebrated artists to a D1 top recruit, 5-star rage baiter. Bro has fallen in love with being problematic. And you know, I don't know Kanye personally, obviously, so I don't know who's in this corner, if anybody, but this shit is bad. It lost more than like half of his net worth fucking around. And you know, the meat riders are gonna be like, oh, it's not about the money, it's about the message. Neither are coming through. He's losing both of those battles. Bro's going on podcasts being openly anti-Semitic. People say he's trying to speak out against injustice in the entertainment industry. He's trying to metaphorically get a point across or something. And it's like, okay, but how is that going for you? You're losing money, partnerships, credibility, any sort of chance of being taken serious out the window. You're risking everything you have for a point that's not getting across because you're risking everything you have. And you know, I don't want to undermine Kanye's mental health. He's pretty open about it and it's pretty obvious that it's not in the best shape. But this nigga's not a toddler, bro. I'm not gonna treat this nigga like a toddler. Kanye used to own headlines due to creativity and innovation, but now it's mostly coming from drama. He's a cultural leader, celebrity, cuckoo guy. I don't know how many supporters he's gained through all this. It's kind of just like he has millions that are still hanging on. One of the most significant reasons for this whole Ye downfall to me is bro's just like addiction to attention. He'll double down on controversial comments. From his rants in real life to his rants on Twitter, he frames himself as a victim of society in his own mind, which honestly he would have gotten away with if he was dropping better music. This self-destruction of Ye.
Vultures wasn't even that bad though. Nah, Vultures was good. Vultures was good. Vultures was a good album. Why would he do that? Now Vultures 2, you know, could be better, but the first Vultures was good.
A combination of burned bridges, lack of accountability, lack of communication, all of it reinforced and validated by himself, him thinking so highly of himself, and anyone who tries to show him any other way of thinking don't got the answer. It's so harmful to so many people.
Don't know the answer, Sway.
But even just him on the inside, if this is a real struggle and he actually wants to be understood, he should probably start approaching this a little different, bro. He's been doing the same shit, because whatever this is, bro, it's not working, it's not productive. But who is gonna tell him that? He already said he don't listen to niggas broker and less successful than him. Also, again, not a toddler. He knows people are gonna be like, what the fuck, when he's praising the mustache dude. It is so important to have people in your life that are gonna keep you grounded. It's important to have somebody that's gonna support you but challenge you at the same time. Without it, it's pretty much just gonna be an uphill battle. When you lose that, when you don't have that one person that you're able to trust for real, man, it's no telling what type of mental spiral you go on. You become an isolation of destruction that nobody can reach because you won't even allow. Mixed with Kanye's idea of himself, a genius that doesn't really trust others' opinions, somebody who has so much to say but doesn't know how, and then sprinkle the fact that the music industry is fucking weird to begin with. Mix all that shit together, bro, you get a nice old Ye. It cannot be easy being this nigga, bro. I'm not gonna lie. But it probably could be easier than the way he's doing it right now. Who knows, man? Who the fuck knows? At the end of the day, we're all human, and in all honesty, your favorite rapper probably has done some worse shit than Kanye. It was just behind closed doors. No one, no matter how talented, successful, self-aware, is gonna be able to thrive in isolation. Only James Harden doing that. Without a trusted corner to support, but more importantly, challenge you, you're cooked. You're stuck in your own perspective. And Kanye has spiraled into his like no other. Some say he's crazy, some say he's misunderstood. He's honestly both, but more than anything, lost, nigga. It's pretty obvious that he doesn't have all this shit figured out. But a few Grammys and hits, enough validation in one field, is good enough for Kanye to pursue the same confidence in all fields. And every single thing he does, you can't tell Ye nothing. All in all, you know what I'm saying, bro, in conclusion, Kanye's story was originally about overcoming and redefining what it means to be an artist, becoming one of the greatest ever. While Ye, on the other
bro,
hand,
he
is a
did that,
completely
though.
different story. A man consumed by chaos, pretty much. In short, an unfiltered nigga with an unwillingness to change and an unwillingness to trust others. Dude found himself in his own pile of poo. And this pile of poo that he sits in, that he created for himself, is leading to no productivity, bro. Straight pain for everyone involved. His contributions to music, fashion, culture, they're undeniable, but used as overshadowed and used as an enabler for behavior. Kanye is gonna have an interesting legacy to look back on. To some, he's a force of creativity you can't stop. Someone with no fear and no limit. And to others, he's just a crazy nigga with a lot of ego. And I mean, shit, both sides are right, bro. Two things can be true at once. Kanye West is both Kanye and Ye. Inspiring yet tragic, you know, depending on how you look at it. A classic battle of genius versus self-destruction. And yeah, bro, that's pretty much Kanye versus Ye. If you got through all that shit, bro, give me a big old kiss.
Yeah, bro. Nah, but hey, bro, no kind of W video. Man, bro, like, still the GOAT though. Like, let's look at this. Let's look at this album run real quick. Let's look at this run that he got. Just his discography. Like, this shit is deep, bro. That shit deep. Pause. Look at this, bro. Like, I move this, please. Thank you. Okay. College Dropout, Late Registration, like, bro, all these, the Jay-Z collab, like, Yeezus Before His Time, W album, underappreciated album, one of his best albums. This is, Donda got it, hold on. I can see Donda top 5. I can see Donda top. I love Donda. I mean, Vulture's one. You feel me though? Like, come on, bro. He the GOAT though. He the GOAT though. He the GOAT though.